welcome back for the latest installment of our holy quest to dissect every single Mother Love Bone song, everyone without exception. We might even do some twice for good measure. So if this is your marmalade, stay tuned. Today is Stardog Champion. This one might be my favorite one to play thus far. For the intro, you're going to have the D string open, ringing out the whole time. Start on the G string 5th fret. It's going to go 5, hammer up to 7, back to 5. Now here, if you listen carefully, it's a whole D shape on 5 and 6 before you go back to the G5. So, and then 5 7 5 7. Then you start the same 5 7 7 7 5, and here comes the fill. Now I watched some videos. I know Stone plays it here. It's way more fun to play down here, so I'm going to show you down here. G string, O 1 2 B1, G string, O 1 O, D string 3 O. Really rolls off the fingers down in open position. And you've got plenty of time to get down there. So I'm going to do it down there. That's your intro. I want to point something out here. Okay, so the D note ringing out is omnipresent. This is a D-centric riff. It centers around this D note. And the curious note in the whole thing to me is if you just put a D minor chord in your earballs and then hear this G sharp note from... Right? Okay, what other D-centric Stone Gossard song do we know of that has a G sharp note in it? I'm in the wrong tuning, so I have to futz it, but... Right? Same curious note from the even flow fill. So the verse is basically just a pared down version of the intro. We're going 5 7 5 7. Seems like there's a guitar doing a power chord when you hit the 7. It'd be a D power chord if you want. And then you go stopping on 5, and then you do the fill. So that's your verse. So that's your verse. And you hear a variation on that. It's this one. It's the B6 and the E5 out of the D shape from the intro. So you hit 6 5, 5 5, and then just G5. And that's the first half, because the second half is still. And that's your variation. And the chorus comes in two kind of flavors as well. There's an extended version, and then there's the first one you encounter. It's power chords. G, G slide up to A, back to G, and then the same thing from F to G, and then a normal ass D chord. So is V 1.0. The slightly extended V that you hear is going to start on F and go from F to G. And then you do just what we discussed. G to A, F to G, normal ass D. And after that one comes a slightly different one. Yeah, they're so similar, but they're slightly different. It's kind of tricky to tell them apart. It's going to be F, F, G, G to A, and straight to your D out of your GA situation. The breakdown, it's when it gets really, really, really chill. It's going to start just how the riff has been starting the whole time. But then we're going up to 10 on the G string. 9, 7. You can hear the bass go ba-dum, ba-dum. So I like to hit the D string before the 10, before the 9, and before the 7, so you can kind of simulate what Jeff's doing. But it does that a bunch of times. time from 10 it goes 12, 14. That's your breakdown. The solo section has a modal shift. It gets creepy, and you know, Pearl Jam super duper duper deep cut fans can't deny me, right? And that's exactly what this solo section is. We're going to go from, I'm going to use octave chords, A3, G5, that's a C, up to D, back down to C, D, E flat, D, C. Is the first half, and the second half is just... You could do that in the, you know, in the mode of the intro if you wanted to. I kind of like it this way. Because that D and that E flat ringing out together just sounds perfectly awful. And so octave chords or the other way, you choose. For the solo section. At the beginning of the outro, when things get sprinkly and tinkly, I think you even hear an acoustic guitar chime in for this, but it's a D suspended 2 chord, so D with an open baby E string, you do 2 measures of that. Now lose your pointer finger, your ring finger stays on B3, and put your middle finger on D3. This is a kind of sort of an F chord, so we're going to call it F. And then up 2 frets is a kind of a sort of a G chord, so we're going to call it G. And that's it. 2 Ds are F and G. That's the first part. But the thing that descends upon us next, which befalls us coming up, is a bit of a mini triad lesson. So what happens is it goes from D, F, G to those chords, but all D shapes as the electric guitar chimes back in. So D, and you sus for it with your pinky there. And if you take your D shape and you move it up 3 frets, you end up with a D, D sharp, E, F chord. This is F. And 2 frets higher than that is F, F sharp, G. So same chords, but now D shapes moving up. 2 Ds, F, G. For that part. And someone in Mother Love Boone Daniel Boone, someone in Daniel Boone's camping expedition knew their stuff, because what happens next is the same chords as triads, but another triad shape. So it starts out as, this is a D chord, we're going to do E5, B7, and G7. 3 frets higher than that, for all the same reasons, is F, so I'm on 8, 10. And 2 frets higher than that, for all the same reasons, is G, so I'm on 10, 12. And then at the very, very, very end of the song, you hear a D chord. At which point, lead guitar grabs the B string 7th fret, gives a little bend, and then the very last chord of the song is F. At which point, lead guitar grabs the 8th fret of the B string, and that's it. That's the end of Daniel Boone's camping expedition. After all, Mother loved Daniel Boone so much that she supplied him with many victuals. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that was fun and helpful. If you would like kind of a more hand-holdy walk-through, playthrough kind of thing, you're going to find that on my Patreon page. I hope to see you there, and I'll see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.